Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
I never get tired of that intro. Never get tired of it. Welcome to Anime Odyssey for November 2022. I know what month it is. My brain is scrambled. Okay, there's boomer points. See, Legatus puts it in my head that I'm going to boomer something at the start of every stream. And it happens. I mean, I did a video game stream this afternoon. And when I went into YouTube Studio, I went into this one instead of that one. And I started, and I'm doing stuff. I'm thinking, nobody's here. A couple people are always here, but I'm talking anyway. Just there's no dead air, even for thinking of the replay. And then I look at it, realize the studio window, nothing's coming up. I'm thinking, oh crap, there's something dying on me. XSplit, you got a problem again. And I realize that says Anime Odyssey on it. I was like, oh, and then I click over and I'm saying, boomer, boomer, boomer. And it's like, I'm not going to live that one down. All right, guys, again, welcome to Anime Odyssey for November 2022. If you are watching live, we're happy you're here. Happy to see you. And if you're watching on the Reupload, then we hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Hit that like button, leave a comment if you had a good time. And now then, let's get started. I'm joined by my panel, though we are missing one. Dermy Wormy is having internet issues. He will do his best. Maybe he can find his way through the internet fog and get in here. Either way, Durham, we miss you. We hope you get in here. And either way, he'll probably definitely be back here next month. But as always, I'm joined by the OG on the panel, Anime Man 73. How are you today, good sir?
Hi there. How you doing? I'm doing fine. Thank you very much.
Good. Glad to have you here as always. And we are officially joined by our new friend, new panelist, new member of the team, Jose, the NYC Geek. Jose, welcome to Anime Odyssey. We bonded instantly over anime when we finally were able to connect and do something. And I realized I got to bring him on, and I'm glad to have you here. How you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing very good, and I'm super stoked that for the first Anime Odyssey that I'm on, that is this, because this is one of my top shows of all time.
I have watched this all the way through 4 or 5 times now to the current point. I got to watch the movie again this week. I'm up to the movie right now, but it never fails to make me smile, make me laugh. The jokes don't get old. I love it so much. Yeah. So,
Jose, before we continue, I just wanted to say, sorry I mispronounced your name earlier. Boy,
it's okay. It's okay. No worries.
So, obviously, Jose and I are veterans of Konosuba and all its glory. Anime Man, was this your first time watching it?
Yes, it was my first time, and I can say this thing, in spite of its for all of its anticlimactic points, was an absolute hoot.
It's a joy, and it's anticlimactic in the sense that there is an overarching story, and if you're paying attention, the drops for these small arcs in season 1 are all over the place if you've seen it enough times. But and the way it ends, I love the way it ends, and the final scene of Kazuma just running, being chased by the guards.
And it's almost like that. Honestly, like it feels like that's the point, right?
Yeah,
because this show is all about subverting everything, left and right, whether it be plots, character, tropes, everything.
It's glorious. We are in a world filled with bad people, characters that they're all horrible. Everybody's an asshole, and they don't hide it. And our protagonist is, well, he doesn't get this name until season 2. But his nickname is Kazu Trash. The town people call him Kazu Trash. I mean, it's fantastic. And now, in season 1, eventually I'm going to ask you guys what's your favorite episode. I definitely have my favorite season 1 episode for probably obvious reasons. Unfortunately, what would be considered part of season 1, I don't consider the first OAV part, even though it has the same season 1 intro. It clearly takes place after season 2 begins due to the introduction of Union. That's why I told you guys don't watch it, even though that is actually, the OAV is actually one of my top 3 favorite out of everything. I just love that one. But we'll save that for when we come back around eventually for season 2. But, all right, so anyway, some of you may be wondering if you are just kind of trying to get a feel for what's going on here. Konosuba, it is an isekai, which means your protagonist is taken from our reality in some way, shape, or form and dropped into a parallel alternate world, usually a fantasy one. And as Jose said, this one breaks all the standards because our hero, Kazuma Sato, he is trash.
Well, it
in
also,
all good ways.
Yeah, and it breaks in the sense that like when this show came out, isekai truly was kind of starting to emerge as a dominant genre. Yeah, and it was following the same formula, which is fine because listen, that's why it works. People like the whole isekai formula. I love the isekai formula. Yeah. But then this show was like, hey, what if we take everything, not just the isekai formula, but the characters, the main character, especially like I will gush on it later, but I mean, it takes all of that and it's like, let's flip it on its head. What if we actually portray an actual Dungeons and Dragons party? Like this is what a D&D party looks like.
And make it just be out of whack, make them all have massive flaws, especially our protagonist, and also really have their motivation. We want money. Yeah. We just want money.
Yeah, we don't. Who cares about being a hero? I mean, the scene where he just tells her, I'm so rich, I'll pay others to do it, and I'll come in and steal the killing blow.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's towards the end of the season when they've got their mansion, they're finding their at the moment out of debt. and everything's looking good. And it's just, they've been sitting there doing nothing. And suddenly we need to go out and do something because the dynamic great. So you have Kazuma Sato, who's our protagonist, who essentially is a shut-in, but not a NEET, just a shut-in.
Just a shut-in.
Just a shut-in. And he emerges one day to go get a brand new game, to wait in line. And on the way home, it starts so beautifully. Yeah. On the way home, he sees a girl that looks like she's about to be run over by a car, and he's like, I'm going to do the brave, heroic thing. I'm going to do it and knock her out of the way. And
and ends up having a heart attack.
Yeah. But in the end, he thinks that then when he goes to the afterlife and he's greeted by the goddess who's going to transition him to a new world, Aqua, and we'll talk about Aqua. We'll get to her in a second. He learns that after she just taunts him, there she is. Both lovable and detestable at the same time.
Yup.
And he learns that he actually didn't save anybody. It was a tractor that was going so slow, no one's going to be hurt. The girl was fine, and he died of a heart attack of the shock, and then he wet himself, and everybody's making fun of him as he's dying on the ground.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's not the standard heroic isekai, or even just like at least some type of isekai reincarnation where like, I died saving somebody, or I got pushed in front of. Nope, it's just perfect most humiliating death.
Yeah, perfect example of a new show where did that last season, Black Summoner, where the guy was wrongly killed and given the chance to go back, and it takes very seriously about how he's going to go about doing it, and it's completely serious, and it comes in overpowered, but he sacrificed memories. But this one is just okay. You're dead. And and we get introduced to Aqua right away. What we are going to do, I think we'll roll through the first 3 episodes in order because it introduces all these lovely characters. And then we can just talk about the insanity. And we meet Aqua. And at first you think, it's your standard, I'm the goddess, I'm here to move you along. And look, I've got blue hair, big boobs, I'm hot, I seem to be nice. But then as Kazuma is given the option to go to another world, he chooses that because it's the whole hero thing. It plays into his desire to be a hero. And he's given one super choice. You could choose anything you want, item, skill, ability, anything to take with him. And as he's trying to figure it out, he looks up, and Aqua's sitting in her throne, eating chips, not giving a shit.
And mocking him.
Yes.
Mocking him.
Yeah.
What does it matter what you pick?
And that's when she reveals how he dies, and she's laughing at him and pointing at him. And in this moment, right away, we get revealed who Kazuma is. He is a vindictive man.
Yes. He is the breaking of all. He is hands down my favorite anime protagonist.
Really?
Yes. Oh, yeah. My top anime protagonist is Kazuma because he takes all the tropes of where normally the male would just sit there and just take it. He's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm dead. You're coming with me. I'm screwed.
That's it. As the reincarnation is beginning, he says, I want you. And then she gets locked into it. An angel appears and says, basically, the Pantheon approves. You can use Lady Aqua as your special item. And then you get to see the true Aqua right away.
Yes.
Horrible creature.
Yes, I remember that moment. That was a perfect example of old-fashioned karma. That's what you get for laughing at somebody else's misery, e-girly. That's what you get for laughing at somebody else's misery.
Just starts crying and wailing, this isn't fair, I want to go home. And then they drop him into the world, and she's grabbing, going, I want to go home. And then it does this periodically. The show will pause it, and it always pauses an Aqua like this.
Yeah. It's another thing about this show, and it very quickly showed itself within the first episode, because I've seen some people kind of complain about the artwork and animation for Konosuba, and it's actually one of the reasons why this show has taken so long to constantly keep coming out. Is it's very expensive. Because
they changed for season 3. They've changed the artwork for season 3. Yeah,
their artwork, but like their artwork is meant to be like fluid, and just you're not supposed to have the standard copy and paste anime face. it's supposed to be constantly fluid, lots of facial expressions, gestures changing,
body movement.
Yes,
this show has it's A- level fan service in this show because everything's jiggling. Right? Aqua does not wear underwear.
Yeah.
Every other girl does, and we learn that very quickly as the season goes on. But Aqua does not wear underwear, but the jiggling. I mean, it's great fan service, but then it doesn't go to A-level fan service. Everything's always slightly hidden. A lot of ass shots, but it's great.
There's only one episode in this entire season where it's very even still stuff is strategically hidden, but where it's far more
the
open.
succubus episode.
The succubus episode.
That's my favorite episode of the season for the comedy of that. Just because of the comedy of the bathroom scene. It's just it's just that makes me laugh every damn time with him in darkness. I love it. If it wasn't an episode, if we're doing it would be the choker episode, the OAV choker episode. That is my number one favorite, just because of Konosuba's behavior throughout that whole thing.
It's such a this show. I mean, we're gonna keep discussing all the episodes, but it's just, even in its first episode, it takes tropes and deconstructs them, and you very quickly learn that is what this entire show is going to be about. It's going to be taking every fantasy trope, all the anime tropes, just tropes that are common anime tropes, and we're deconstructing them.
We're not going to rush off to level up and fight the Devil King. We're going to F around. We're sleeping in a stall where you see poop on the hay. We're going to make fun of when at one point Aqua's describing what it's like to sleep, and she says, "Yeah, I hear you when you're lying there breathing heavily," and we know what he's doing, but he's just like,
and he's like, "Thank you, thank you, Aqua. Thank you for not." And their relationships grow. It's the other thing is that, like, a lot of these kind of isekai and shows, their relationships become very static. You know, they introduce it, and you know what the dynamic they're going to have, and then they'll always have that same running gag and dynamic. Here, the characters actually grow their interactions with it. Like Aqua and Kazuma very, very much are like a brother and sister duo, even from the first season. They're just very brother and sister like.
In the OAV I'm talking about, the choker one where Kazuma's dying, and we're not going to go into that one, but at one point when he's confessing everything, he goes, "Aqua, when we were sleeping in the barn together, I really tried to get off to you. I just couldn't. I tried, and I couldn't." And it's seeing him smelling her hair, and he's like, And it's just, I mean, for a dude that is a lech, she is completely unattractive to him, and it's hysterical. But that's perfect. They're brother and sister. They treat each other like brother and sister. They do horrible things to each other as a brother and sister would. And it's great. And it leads right into that first episode, the frog hunt.
Oh God.
The frog hunt is glorious, and you realize as they're getting their skills and all that stuff, after they finally get their adventures with their tags, and right away you learn that Kazuma's luck is through the roof. He has one stat that's great, and it's luck. Everything else is average. And you learn that Aqua's stats, her magic, all this stuff stats, but her intelligence is it's basement level. She's an idiot.
Well, and what's great about it is, the thing is that, like, normally this would be the show where if they're like, oh, well, all right, the protagonist is a dope, everybody else in the party is competent, you very quickly learn, like, no, it's actually, if sadly enough, Kazuma is the competent one
as a schemer, because he's a schemer.
Yes.
And also they break the thing of, oh, it's the hero and the goddess. They're supposed to have a romance eventually. No. In fact, if anything, they push Kazuma darkness, and when you get to the movie, they push Kazuma Megumin. And I don't know where it goes in season 3 because I haven't read the light novel, so I have no idea where it's going in season 3. But they push it, and when we get to darkness, darkness.
Yes, darkness.
She is arguing. Yes.
Where darkness is concerned, did the creators of Konosuba delve into 50 Shades of Grey to get a character out? Because that girl is just, jeez.
Darkness is, to me, the most, and I'm not kidding, one of the most unique characters in all of anime. Like, in all of anime, I've never seen a female knight or just a female character who's like an absolute masochist, but to the point where it's comedic. Like it just doesn't border on it's borders on hentai, but it doesn't. It's just so
every time. It's just like, oh, all right. So Darkness is our fourth character, so we'll get to there. But the frog scene, it's that beautiful thing where you learn exactly how useless in most situations Aqua is. But that's that stage of she's useless, but so many times we go on, she's the cause of so many problems because she's a goddess. But in regular situations, she's useless, and how somehow they get through it, and it's the frog thing comes back.
They somehow struggle through,
and you get this great scene, this great episode 1 where they beat the frogs, but then suddenly you get this montage of them just being day laborers. And just done. It's heroic music, and they're doing stuff. They work. They go back to the bar. They drink. They party. Aqua vomit up rainbows, and they just keep going back and forth until suddenly Kazuma has a meltdown and say, "What the hell are we doing?"
and especially because that comes off the tail end of them being in the guild.
Yeah,
and like they're doing this whole big thing of like, Aqua, oh my God, you're an archpriest. You have this great, do you want to join my party? You want to join my party? And then it's just, no, we're day laborers.
No, we're going to
and they're enjoying it. And they're like, well, it starts off with that montage of them, like they're getting bullied by the day, and then they're partying with them, and they're celebrating. And it's like, is this what we came to this world for?
This town of beginning, Axel, this town of newbie adventurers where everybody just kind of stays there. Nobody leaves. They all just stay there and drink and party because it's safe, because it's supposed to be far away from the Devil King's armies. But midway through the season, we learned that maybe not so much.
Oh, God.
So by the end of episode 1, they're ready to go on their adventure. And in episode 2, they start looking for party members. And Aqua puts up this really dumbass flyer where she's quoting herself. And then they get our next horrible person.
Next one. And
Megumin.
Yeah, and the breakout character of this show. If there is
she your best girl? Is she your best girl?
No, Aqua's best. Darkness is best.
Darkness girl. And Wiz comes in as a close second. For me. Wiz comes in as a close second.
Yes, Megumi, aka the nefarious one-trick pony.
The wacko.
Yeah, her one trick is, but her one trick. Whoa, this thing packs a bang.
Yeah, and she really is the breakout character of the show. I mean, she has been in apps in just other games. It's just
she's getting a prequel series next season.
She is a full-blown breakout character.
Yeah, she's getting the prequel series, and because of the way they've been adapting it, everybody has their own moments in seasons 1 and 2. But movie 3 in the movie, which is technically, I called it season 3. It's like a small 4-episode arc. That's her movie.
Yeah,
the movie is her movie. Oh, I can't wait to watch that again. I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah,
that general in that one.
It's such a great show.
But get Megumin comes along, and right away, okay, tiny little lolly girl. Okay, fine. She's 16 years old, whatever. And she, like Anime Man said, she is an archmage. She's the biggest, best mage you can get. And you think right away, okay, she's going to cast hurl spells if you're not into the Zed. And then you learn right away, she knows one spell.
Yep.
She dumped everything into it.
And can only use it once.
Once a day. And whenever she casts Explosion, which is her one spell, her collapsing noise is always the best.
Yep. I mean, even from where our introduction to Megumi, where like they're recruiting her in the end, and Kazuma's like, you got that patch? Is that like a seal? Is that where and she's like, no, I just think it just makes me look cool. And
what does he do? What does he do? Yeah,
he snaps it on her, and that would never happen in most animes.
He starts to bully her immediately.
Yes, immediately. In most animes, it would be him getting and I mean, yes, Kazuma gets bullied constantly. That's part of the fun of it.
It's
but
the give and the
everybody,
take,
it's everybody giving and taking.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And so immediately they give her the tryout. And they say the thing is, you're going to do whatever we say anytime, and you're in. So they go back to the frogs.
Oh God!
And the whole plan is to lure the frogs in, let her blast it, and that's when they learn she can only do it once. And she fires it off, collapses, and then the frogs proceed to eat her and Aqua, and Cosmo somehow gets it, but they lure more in there, and it's just, and they're covered in the slime, and it's hysterical, and it's just great. And Megumi joins the party in that great way.
She joins even though Kazuma tries to get rid of her, and she's like, I'll go unpaid. Don't you want an Archmage's power? And he's like, no, don't you
I just want to blow shit up.
Don't you want to go somebody else? And she's like, no. And he's like, dude, get the hell off me. And she's just like, I'll tell people you slime me up and you put me all slimy and whatnot. It's just, it's so good.
That trek back through town where she starts to scream about it, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I love Cosmo's facial expressions are the best. He's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Yeah. Oh, a massive nod has to be given to this show, and not just like I said, the animation for it, but the voice acting.
Oh,
the voice acting for this show
is one of the best dubs.
Yeah,
out there.
Very good dub.
And dub and sub both are just incredible. Both are incredible. It's just, I mean, some of the stuff, like just them interrupting each other's dialogue, or the whole famous Kazuma.
You nailed it.
Yeah,
you went exactly what I was thinking. There's certain points where somebody's saying the Kazuma, that's me.
Yeah, that's me.
Kazuma, that's me, still me.
And, or they'll be talking and Kazuma will be like, "What are you talking about?
What are you doing?
No."
Yeah.
And it's just real. It's real. Like they're having some epic thing, and Kazuma's like, "No, that's not how it went. That's not at all. No, it's just.
I'm sorry. It's our fault. It's our fault.
Yeah.
No, don't praise us.
So good.
It's all our fault. And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then what happens in episode 2, after, again, like you said, Megumi guilts him in doing, because she's threatening sexual assault and harassment. He's like, no.
Yeah.
And like, I never saw, what is he doing to that little girl?
Yeah, stop her.
So, but then right at the end, again, the show wastes no time. Darkness is approaching. And at the end of that one, and then the whole entire next episode is, again, trying to convince her, you don't want to be a part of this group. We don't want you. Because then right away, Cosmo, by this point, he sees the red flags. It's like, wait a minute.
His danger radar.
Yeah.
His
He's like, wait,
radar.
This chick's as nuts as these other two. And I got to get her away from it. And it's just, we get.
Girl right there.
Yeah. I mean, and Darkness is best girl. For
Absolutely.
So many women.
Absolutely. She is.
Latina.
Like, it is hard to really pin down. I mean, every time you watch an anime, you want to pick a waifu from it, right? But
yes,
I will say my favorite overall of all time is Darkness. She is just so unique.
Really?
Yeah, right? She's so unique.
I love her. Right now, my number one is from Reincarnated as a Slime.
Okay.
What's her name? The ogre chick. Suddenly forgot her name. Shit. The big booed one. She's my favorite
ogre?
one.
The Oni lady?
Yeah, the ogre. Okay. The Oni.
The Oni?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I can't remember her name. Shit.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen the picture of her.
Okay, yeah.
Wearing like the white suit or something like that.
No, the purple suit. The purple suit.
Okay,
yeah. She's my current favorite in a lot of things. She always reached out because she's best girl, and she gets so much good camera and storyline stuff through seasons 1 and 2. But that's a whole nother show. We'll get to that one day anyway. But what I love in episode 3 is we get while he's trying to push Darkness away, we get the expansion of Kazuma, because now Kazuma's learning about getting skills.
Yeah.
In episode 3.
God.
And he gets for a while it's sort of his signature.
Yes, it is.
Steel.
Yeah.
And
God, Steel.
He gets it from Chris, and in that moment, it's just she thinks she's gonna get the better of him, but nobody knows that his luck is through the roof. And what his luck does is generally it's gonna get steals a chick's underwear, and then he takes it and he's swinging it over his head.
Oh yeah,
he is
celebrating of. And the thing is, like, what's great is she told him, she's like, you could either get this or coins or rocks. He celebrates getting her underwear. He's like, this is the ultimate prize right here.
The curse of the teenage boy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a. I think he's a. He's a
he
college
18
student.
or is he
No,
20?
he's over
Is he
drinking
20?
age.
Yeah.
He's 20 because he's over legal drinking age in Japan, because part of the jokes is everybody gets to drink except Megumine because she's underage.
Yeah.
And they never let her drink.
In that case, the curse of the college age dude.
Well,
and then shortly after he takes Megumines.
Yeah, and at the same time, and she's like, "No, what did you do?" And we're gonna get to the glory. It's glorious when we get to the fight with the other hero, the other guy who completely bought into it. With Aqua. But in this episode, they're like I said, they're continually he's trying to get rid of darkness, but then the cabbage emergency. Cabbages. We're in a world where cabbages fly, and to harvest them, you have to attack them.
When I first heard about the alarm, I thought, "Oh man, we're going to see some major dueling action."
No.
And then I found out that the main opponent were flying cabbages. That's a little anticlimactic. Cabbages that can fly.
Well, that's the world. I played the mobile game, right?
Oh,
and here you fight like when Halloween came around, it was the pumpkins, and the pumpkins are murder pumpkins, like super evil pumpkins. And I'm like, and he said that he's like, everything in this world. Why are all the vegetables horrible in this world?
There was an announcement of an RPG game for that, not just a mobile game, but there was one, and it vanished, and I never saw it again. And I keep waiting for it to reappear because I will buy that. My PS5 arrives tomorrow. I will buy that shit.
I will absolutely.
I'd be all over that. I don't care if it breaks canon. I will play that. It's one of the things I will buy to play it. But the cabbages, and in that moment, everybody's standing there dodging, but darkness takes the front stage and just takes a cabbage beating, and that's when we learn that she is a full-on masochist, not a sadist, just a masochist, and it could be both masochist. It could be both physical and emotional. Doesn't matter.
And we also learn her flaw. Well, other than her masochism, is her flaw. Like everybody has something that makes them just useless,
worthless,
and the fact that she's a knight, she's a crusader, she's a higher level. Everybody has high-end classes.
Except Cosmo.
Yeah,
he's just an adventurer.
Archpriest, archwizard, crusader, and she cannot hit a goddamn thing.
Get the broads out of a barn.
Accuracy negative.
And that's why there's in season 2 is a funnier scene where they're going into the mine with the little puppets, and she can actually hit them. She's so excited. Yeah, I can hit them. This is great. This is what being a crusader really feels like. But so they get that, and unfortunately, again, despite everything, they can't do it. Cosmo can't get rid of her, and Megumine fires off another explosion. Aqua floods the place, and everything is lost. And in the end, darkness is a part of the party, and our party is complete.
Yes.
We have Cosma, the lech. We have Aqua, the useless goddess. Megumine, the definition of a glass cannon.
Yep.
And darkness. Toughest, physically can take the beating, but cannot hit the broadside of a barn.
A moving wall.
Yeah. And just likes it. I mean,
which is another great thing, because like she has such massive hit points, and she has such iron defense, and that is something that Kazuma, like she's embarrassed about. Like she wants to be considered a lady at times. He's like, you're so tough. You could take all this. She's
got man muscles.
Yeah, you got man. She's like, don't insult my muscles.
I'm still a girl,
Yep.
Later on, I mean, that's in the season 2. That's out of the season 2 stuff where she get her part of her lady during the marriage proposal arc, which is fantastic. I'm so sorry we couldn't do season 2, but we have to keep it limited to one season. Otherwise, we're here all night. But I am going to bring up one moment from season 2, though. Here, I have to bring it up just because. No, it's not this one. Just because it is. Oh no, it's from the OAV. That's it. It's an OAV one, where the golem, and I just have to bring up this just to show you
the flicks.
Yes, what happens to darkness, and how she just loves it. Let me just bring it up here. Okay, it's almost there. And the armor comes off. And here it comes. Okay, let me share. This is just, and she loves it.
To see.
Well, this is from the second OAV in season 2, and just for a couple seconds here. Of course, no volume. Boom. And it's just.
And the best thing is that, like, you would think Kazuma, being the pervert that he is, would be all like, yeah. No, he's like, dude, fight. Like, stop. Like, it just, it turns everything around. It's so
Although at times he does leer at a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
But so our party is complete, and then they go on their adventures for the next what is season 1 is 12 episodes? Yeah.
11,
yeah. 11. So for the next 7 episodes, it's just misadventures leading up to 2 kind of things that are teased throughout this. There's the tease of the Devil King's generals. Yeah. And that's kind of the irony of this whole show. The whole thing behind the whole premise is that the only way Aqua can ascend back to the realms of the gods, the heavens, is if she and Kazuma defeat the Devil King. That's the rule. Once that's done, Aqua can go back to heaven. And for the longest time, that's her motivation, until she learns that she actually likes living on the ground. She likes getting drunk. She likes eating. She really likes drinking and likes messing around and goofing off. But to do that, there are various Devil King's generals. I'm not sure how many there are, but through the 2 seasons in the movie, we encounter 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe 5. Let me see. Verdia, we meet Verdia, right? The dual hand Verdia, Vanir, Viscounts.
Yeah.
And then the slime, and then in the movie we get the 5th ones. Yeah, so we in over the 2 seasons of the movie, we encounter 5 of the Devil King's generals. They just come across their path in the stupidest ways.
Yeah, in the beginner town, no less, which is the entire point of it being the beginner town.
Yeah.
Except for the movie one.
Movie one, yeah, but that's a whole different can of worms.
Yeah.
Literally.
If we're at that point, let me put in something about the first Devil King general.
Yeah, go for it.
Now, on the one hand, yes, I recognize that he is a servant of the Devil King. He is one of the bad guys. That being said, in all fairness, if you had somebody coming by once a day blowing up your home and your stuff, you'd be pissed off too.
Yes.
Well, that's why Kazuma sympathizes with him.
Yeah, he didn't know.
He's like, no, I sympathize, man.
So basically, what happens for 2 episodes where they have nothing to do because there's nothing going on. Megumi likes to go out and blow shit up to get experience points for her explosion, and she basically suckers Kazuma into doing it. And because who's going to carry her back if not him? Yep. So they over and over again, they find this castle in the middle of nowhere, and it's assumed to be empty, and she just starts blowing it up every day. Rain or shine. It's not winter yet. We get to winter later, the winter episode. But so they do it over again, and then one day there's an emergency alert, and like you said, one of the Devil King's generals, Vernia, the Doulahan, comes up and starts yelling at everybody. What are you people doing? I came here to relax. I wasn't going to bother you.
Yeah, when I first heard the alarm, I thought, oh no, not more flying cabbages. Then comes the Devil King's general, and that's not a flying cabbage.
Yeah.
And what I love is as he starts giving the litany, you see Kazuma bip going, and then we look over, and Megumi's like,
yeah,
and she starts going, he grabs her, come here.
which is I mean, it's from the 2nd season, but it's still one of my favorite scenes of this show. At that when she's discussing, because him and Megumi get into antics all the time.
Yeah,
and the stare, the G, like it just Cosmo's always like, dude, our party causes all the problems.
It's their fault. They bring this upon themselves everywhere they go. You call this luck? This is my adventure.
This is my talent.
My adventure is going to begin, and they get stuck fighting him in a moment, and he threatens them, and the banter is all over the place. It's fantastic banter, because then it starts to go over the top when darkness gets involved. As she says, I'm going to protect my friend. I will be taken by this general, and he will do these things to me. And he's going, wait, what? No.
Whoa, get away from me, boy.
He's like, hey, that's not what I'm here for.
I'm not. No, what are you talking about? Yes, you will chain me up and defile me and ravage my body and take my virtue. And it's like, what? No,
I'm not. I don't. Dude, I'm not that way.
I don't do that. Like,
well, we learned that he kind of the Wiz interaction. We learned that he is kind of like that. Though.
Yeah,
but only for Wiz. Then he wants to curse Megumin, and what happens is he does it, but then darkness jumps in front of it, takes the hit, and he thinks she's gonna die in a couple of days, and unless they come to the castle and fight through his horde, it's gonna be this, and only Megumin and Cosmo can do it, and he runs off, and Megumin and Cosmo have this great moment of, okay, we did this. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna fight our way, and we're gonna beat him. And then Aqua goes,
and then Lady Aqua just nopes the spell out of existence.
Yeah. I'm a goddess.
Yep. Well, that's the thing about it, is that Aqua is just so useless. She's a great plot item.
Yeah.
Because
she drives a lot of stuff. And
yeah,
it's like purification. Nature's beauty, purification. She likes her part. We learned at one point she puts most of her skill points into party tricks.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, she's just her innate ability of being a goddess. Yeah. She doesn't have to put skill points into all these other things, and she just puts it into just stupid things like party tricks.
God blow, which only works on undead. Yeah. It only works on undead. A blessing, which can buff people only when she's supposed to. When they talk her into actually buffing you, and healing. She does healing, and the resurrection. The resurrection is an important thing because at one point during all this, Cosmo does die at one point, and he's sitting there, and we meet the other major goddess of this area, the Eris, the Eris sect, who is Aqua's a subordinate technically, but everybody worships her.
Yeah,
and everybody hates Aqua's cult.
Yeah,
in this world, that we learned why in season 2.
Yeah, yes,
but yeah, and now Cosmo, when he dies, he learns that you mean I can't be resurrected back to this world because I wasn't from this world. And Eris, she's kind, she's sweet. She's the complete opposite of Aqua. She's nice. She's your standard waifu goddess. Yeah. For one of these things where she's pleasant, she could be your romance option, and she's ready to give him everything he wants. And then Aqua barges in from above. Okay, Cosmo, ready to resurrect you. Shut up! I'm talking to Eris. But come on, what is she there, Eris? You know she pads her bra.
Yep. It's just well, and it harkens back to like episode 1 where when they're in the guild trying to get coins because they're so broke they can't even get the registration fee, and Aqua goes to an Eris worshiper and she's like, I'm a goddess, I'm Aqua, and he's like, you really shouldn't be impersonating a goddess. Here's some coins though, I'm from the Eris cult, and she's traumatized. She's like, my subordinates worshiper took pity on me. It's just they have that rivalry planted all the way from episode 1.
Especially when you get to season 2 and you see what Aqua's cult is like.
Yeah. Yup.
Oh, another day. But that's a brilliant moment where it's and Cosmo falls in love, like, she's my destiny. Eris, I love you. No, I don't want to go, but he has to go back because she convinced him, well, don't you miss it up there? It's like, well, yeah, I guess I do like my friends.
Yep.
And that's the thing. And in the end, Cosmo actually does like his life up there.
He does.
Likes it.
He loves them. He does love his party. He does. Yeah. And they do truly care for him.
Yeah.
Like there are times when they can put like, I think it's in actually just as a side, even like in the video game, because the video game, I don't know if this mobile is canon. I think it might be, but they actually have a thing where they swap Mitsurugi, the other guy from the other world. Yeah. And they're like, dude, we hate you. Get out. Give us Cosmo.
Well, let's talk about that moment. Let's talk about meeting Mitsurugi, because that's a brilliant moment, because that has one of my most favorite things ever in this. Oh, sorry, let me see which episode. Was this the one? Yes, this is it right here.
You mean the overbuffed, if not too bright, sword wielder?
Yeah, but it still has one of my most favorite things ever in this. Let me see if I can get to it. Anyway, so all right, so Jose, set us up with Mitsurugi while I look for this.
So like they are, now that the party has been completed, they are trying to do adventures, and they just keep failing. And one of the things that they're trying to do is purify a swamp, which has this great scene of them putting Aqua in a cage, and they put her in the water, and they're like, all right, you sit in the water, purify the water for us. And as they're coming back with having failed the quest, there's this swordsman who shows up, and he's like, Aqua-sama, like, it's me, Mitsurugi. She's like, who the hell are you, dude? And we find out that he is also another person from, our world, who is reincarnated over there. But he is the stereotypical trope.
He took it seriously.
He takes it seriously. He's like, I'm fighting the Devil King's armies. I've got this cursed great sword. I think it's called Gorn, or I can't remember the name of it.
Garm.
Magic
sword Garm.
Yeah, and and we meet Mitsurugi, and he worships Aqua.
Yeah.
She is everything to him.
And she doesn't remember who the hell he is, because we begin to learn that Aqua has done this a lot.
Yeah.
She has reincarnated a lot of guys. Most of them, or at least the ones we know of, aside from Mitsurugi, they go over there and they do bad things. They do dumb shit. But then what it leads to is my favorite moment. After Mitsurugi, after a couple of scenes where he learns that basically Kazuma treats, and to Kazuma's rule, where we heard this, he treats everybody equal. In his eyes, everybody's equal. Doesn't matter if you're a girl, he will throw down on you.
He's a true believer in gender equality.
Yes. He will do it. So he learns that in town, because we learn later that Mitsurugi is Axel's hero. He is the hero of Axel. When they face off against Verdia later, and he's not there, everybody's like, oh shit. The guy what happens is he challenges Kazuma, and Kazuma uses steel and takes his sword that only he can use.
Oh, that
he's over the head with it. And then when he comes back, Kazuma sold it for money.
Yeah.
But what it leads, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, and just from even his first introduction, Mitsurugi, when he's like, Aqua, where are you? Oh, come with me. And he's like, shake, like Kazuma, rather Darkness is like, yo, get your hands off of Kazuma. Yeah. And Megumin's like, you want me to?
I have it right here. This is one of my banked clips for when I do streams.
I want to blow him up. Let me blow him up.
Yeah, like they're like, hey, no one picks on, like, that's our guy. Yeah. Like, you could already see the dynamic of their team, their party. Like, if anyone's gonna pick on him, it's us.
Yeah, he's our bitch.
Yeah.
So what happens though is Mitsurugi has his own little couple of girlfriends who will worship him, and they go after Kazuma. They you took his sword, you give it back, and then it leads to this. This is my favorite thing. I think one of my favorite things of all time, when it's like, what are you gonna do? I have a special trick, and then they're like, oh no, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And here it comes. I love the hand.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? I love the hand.
He is the top. I'm telling you, it's the top-notch protagonist of all time for me.
And what does he do? He steals their underwear.
Yeah.
And he celebrates, and he later on bites him in the ass in season 2. That particular celebration bites him in the ass after he takes their underwear for the first arc of season 2. But I love that moment, and that's just fantastic. That whole episode is great. And of course, it leads us back to the whole Verdia thing, where suddenly, after Verdia leaves and they heal Darkness, they go on to regular shit for a couple more episodes.
Yeah.
Regular shit, doesn't matter. And then he comes back and he's like, what kind of people are you? You let your crusader die. And then he looks over. Wait a minute. How are you alive? Hi. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, he summons undead. And that's when we learn that Aqua has she does have a special ability. She's a magnet for undead.
Yeah,
And,
it's her goddess. It's her being an actual goddess, which people don't believe.
No, nobody. Not even Darkness and Megumin believe she's a goddess. They think it's an act.
Yeah,
only
they
Kazuma.
Think she's crazy.
Yeah, only two people know, Kazuma and Mitsurugi, because he believes it. He knows it.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody thinks that she's just putting on a show. But because of her divine power, and for undead who want to be uncursed and be able and be turned, and they chase her. And this is the hysterical fight where they run around and they chase her, and it's just funny as hell. And you think for a second when Verdia starts kicking everybody's ass, it's like, oh shit, we have a serious fight here. Until again, Darkness goes and stands she does her tank thing, and then Kazuma does his thief thing.
Yes,
and he steals Verdia's head.
Yeah. When I saw that, I couldn't help but think, gee, with a little work, there could actually be a FIFA league on the world Kazuma's on.
They play soccer with it, and again, Kazuma's actually pretty damn smart. He's pretty quick on his feet.
He's extremely intelligent. He is very intelligent. He just has the worst fucking luck.
He has great luck, but at the same time, horrible luck.
Yep.
And also his party members, to quote him, "What? Don't say that. You're going to trigger a flag. Don't do that. No."
Yep.
Because Aqua will trigger flags. That's what she's there to do. Trigger red flags.
Yeah, nothing's happened in the dungeon so far. Shut up.
And we learned that also Aqua, her ability for water is what's going to stop Verdia. And they manage between Aqua's water, Megumin's explosion, kicking the head around. They do defeat Verdia and they wipe him out. And they get rich. Except they don't. Because Aqua's tidal wave damaged the city.
They're always taking one step forward and sometimes several steps back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that we're halfway through the season, and you realize all this stuff has happened. And here's one of the glorious things. And every time I watch this series or another series kind of like it, where you're getting this 11 to 12 to maybe 13 episode season, and you get these characters introduced, and you realize that by episode 4 or even 3 or 4, you are connected to every single one of these characters. You care about them. You enjoy them. These are 4 horrible people. Well, least horrible among them is Darkness, because she wants to do good, but she puts herself in situations, her own selfish, to want to get beat up.
They're horrible to the sense. Like to be fair, they do try to do good things. It's just that they are so horrible selfish at it that they're selfish that it's like, damn it, we messed it up. But like when they have to fix, like in the one of the coming episodes, like the Haunted Mansion thing, like we will not take the bonus money. Like they do take their own fault at times.
Kazuma does have morals. It's just he divides them. He's selective.
It's just hard. Yeah, it's just hard for him to be moral when everyone around him is just making him be like, I hate this place. I hate you guys. I hate
this. To quote him, the balancing of this world is all out of whack.
Yeah.
The balance.
It really is.
It truly is.
Yeah. Because we get that now throughout we have the last 2 mini arcs of the season, which of course are glorious. We get introduced to Wiz, my very close run-up waifu.
That is my second favorite episode of the season. Episode
the mansion, because finally it's they are determined. Darkness. We learned she's a rich girl. Darkness is a rich girl. She's Lalatina, Solace or Solace Soul Dustiness. She is part of the ruling family of the region. Hi, bye, Lalatina. Don't call me that.
Yeah,
but she is, and she probably just been living where she felt like. I don't know where Megumin lives before they get the mansion. I guess she's used to roughing it. So
she's probably on the streets.
Yeah,
being a hooligan.
Yeah. Again, the Union episode when in season 2 we meet her for the first time. That is just a brilliant thing, and I love that. But but Kazuma and Aqua have been living in a stable, sleeping on hay where there's horse shit, and they're and it's winter. Winter is upon us at this point, and they're freezing. They need to get so they're determined to get someplace to stay, and they learn about this quest while they're seeing Wiz. They go to Wiz, who is a shopkeeper in town, sells magical artifacts, and we quickly learn they didn't do this in the episode. It's a quick recap of something happened off camera. When they were going to deal with something going on in the graveyard, they found Wiz there, basically passing over spirits to the other side. We learned that she, even though she looks like a big, thick, voluptuous woman, she is in fact a lich. Yes. Once upon a time, she was an adventurer, an arch wizard called the Ice Queen, and she was powerful as hell. But eventually, she died and became a lich and became one of the Devil King's generals, in charge of managing the shield for the Devil King's palace, of all things. But in order to get out of that, she was granted leave to just keep the shield up, go do whatever else you want, to open up a shop. But she has a curse as well. The harder she works, the more money she loses.
And she is an awful shopkeeper.
Yes. Terrible.
She has no business sense.
No. And she leaves things out on the front shelves that shouldn't be there, which, again, we get some great episodes later on, the OAVs and in the second season. A lot of funny stuff. But in this one, while they're doing that, they learn that there's a mansion that if they exorcise the ghosts, they can live there.
Yes, and we're also introduced to Aqua and Wiz's relationship because Aqua hates the undead.
Yeah, and Wiz knows she's a goddess too. And Wiz knows she's a goddess too. She's aware, completely aware.
And even though, like, later on, like, Aqua starts to kind of like tolerate her presence, like, she's always like, I think I'm going to purify you. I'm going to exercise you. And Kazuma's like, stop it.
Stop it. Peter's like, so what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, stop it.
Stop that. I mean, but, and you have to understand, for those who don't know, Wiz has the biggest tits in the show.
Oh, yeah.
She has the biggest tits in the show. When Megumi gets a cat later on, there's an awesome moment where the cat's sitting there just bobbing tits back and forth.
Yep. Oh, such a good.
Wiz is the thickest in the show. I think after her, Luna, the guild mistress, she is the runner-up in terms of size queen. And then after that is Darkness. And Darkness, you don't know it until season 2. She's got even bigger boobs when they put her in nice dresses. It's even more apparent.
When she's not in her armor.
The armor is restricting her.
Yes. You
have to understand that. But they get to if they exercise the mansion, which they just let Aqua loose in there, and she goes nuts that first night. But then,
but that mansion scene.
They're all happy. They have their own rooms. They get to live there. It's warm. It's winter. And then, the dolls.
Yup, the dolls.
The creepy dolls.
And it's compounded by the fact that when it begins, Kazuma gets up to take a piss.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is Megumin also got up to go to the bathroom. And as Kazuma is running from the dolls, he runs into Megumin in Aqua's room, and Aqua had already left her room to go doll hunting in the middle of the night. Problem is now they both need to pee. They're being chased by dolls. They end up in the bathroom, and it's just this scene where Megumin's trying to go to the bathroom. And
before that.
What I missed?
My favorite part of that episode, when they're stuck in the room and Kazuma's like, all right, I'll be right back. I got to use the bathroom. And she's like, wait. She's like, no, we're party members. We do things together. He's like, dude, get off me. I have to pee. And then she's like, if you start peeing, and she starts doing the little kung fu pose, she goes, I'll shake you from behind. Oh my God. That scene always makes me howl.
And then he's standing in the hall. She's sitting on the toilet. And she goes, are you still there? Yes, I'm here. Can you sing a song?
Yeah.
No. I can't do it. Just do it. I'm gonna explode here. And then the dolls arrive, and he bursts through the door. She's like, ah! Oh. And he ends up pulling her off. You see her underwear left on the floor, and they're running through the halls, and it's just it's insanity. And eventually, they solve the problem, but then they learn they caused the goddamn problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
because Aqua is a lazy asshole.
Lady Aqua strikes again.
Yep.
Lady Aqua strikes again, indeed. We learned that when they basically got Wiz out of the graveyard to work in the shop, to let her do a shop, Aqua had made the deal, I'm going to take care of passing over the soul thing. No, all she did was put up a barrier around the graveyard so the souls couldn't go back.
Yep. Yeah.
And so they went to the nearby mansion.
It's just again, and that's why like she's like, I'll give you guys the guild mistress is like, I'll give you guys the bonus money, and they're like, we won't.
We'll just take the house.
We'll take the house. We won't accept the special reward.
Yeah, we can't do that. It was our fault. So they have a house now. They have a house, but now we get into, and they do all kinds of stuff. And again, they sprinkle what's coming. Aqua doing party tricks. Here's my destroyer party trick, and for like the third or fourth time this season, you hear Konosuba go, "What's destroyer?"
Yeah,
it's coming. But first, my favorite episode of the season, the succubus episode. Not just for the fan service, but for again, like Jose said, for so many times in whether it's isekai or other things, you get your protagonist who is, I can't look at the naked girl, or I can't be in this type of situation where it's sort of romantic or this and that. No, Kazuma's a horn dog.
Yeah. He's like, let's go.
As was proven at the beginning of the episode with those other two rather, how shall we say, lecherous adventurers.
Yeah.
Go on.
And we learned that there's a particular service in this town provided to all the adventurers because it's mixed parties. You don't want bad things to happen. So some succubi set up shop. And in exchange for a little bit of vitality and with contract signing, they will send you erotic dreams, which are as good as the real thing. And every man in town patronizes this place. And it's a running gag going to season 2 where Kazuma hands out coupons to his friends going forward. It's like, yeah, Kazuma's great. He gives me coupons to the succubi. The succubus dead. And you go in there and suddenly you get these succubi who are just top to bottom. And the animation for the episode is a little different than the other episodes. If you noticed, it's slightly different. It's a little different in terms of movements and facial expressions and art style. Just slightly different. At least I feel like it is. And he sets it up because now what's going to happen? He has to sign it over, give permission for a succubus to come into him and give him the dream when he goes to sleep. Problem is he can't drink. Cannot get drunk at night. And what do him and his party do all the time? They get drunk off their asses all the time.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that night, Darkness is treating them to this grand, glorious feast. They don't know she's a rich girl yet. And her family sent a party, a gift basket of these super crabs. And everybody's eating. And at one point, Aqua with super booze says, look, if you heat up the guts in the crab shell, you drink it with the sake. It's great. It's awesome. And Kaz is about to do it. It's like, oh, no, wait, I can't do that. And everybody gets kind of angry at him. They feel like he's brushing him off. But he's like, fine. Don't worry. Good night, everybody. He's going to go to bed. And he goes to bed.
He wants his dream. He's waiting.
He's so excited. He can't fall asleep. So he decides to take a bath.
Oh no!
And he falls asleep in the bath. Falls asleep, and he wakes up and he thinks he's in the dream because he's woken up. The lamps are all out. It's night. It's misty in the bath, and he sees a silhouette through the door, taking her clothes off in all jiggly glory, and in comes Darkness in all her glory. And you get a line later. It's like Kaz saying, "Wow." So it's going to be Darkness. Yeah, she's and it's not this time, but she's later. She's got a slamming body, but she's insane, to quote him later on.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's the dream. So he stands up and he just starts issuing orders to do things to him. Not overtly sexual stuff, building up to it. Wash my back. All this stuff. And Darkness is like, what are you doing? Remember, she could kick his ass. She can kick his ass.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately for her, and this is the thing, I mean, we get this further revealed in season 2.
Yeah.
But Kazuma is her type. Like, that is her absolute type. Like, she doesn't want any other
trash.
She wants Kazuma. She wants
a deadbeat. She wants a lazy bum. She wants
a guy who orders her and tells her, I don't want to work. Go use your body to pay my bills. Like,
no. I love that. And so she just takes it, and you realize she's as horny as he is.
Yeah.
She says, again, 99% of the time, all anime girls are horny. 99% of the time, they're all horny. Yep. And she's ready to do it. She is ready, and he's ordering. At one point, they're reaching the point where it's okay. Wash my back, dry me off. I have no towel. Use your body.
Yeah,
and she is inches away from drying his back with her breasts, and then there's there's a shout from down the hall, and Cosmo still thinks it's the dream. He's like, God damn it! Even in my dreams, Aqua's trying to ruin my fun. And he rushes out with just this tiny little towel tied around his waist. And he finds Aqua and Megumin in the hallway over this nubile succubi. This nubile succubus. And she's a rookie succubus. She doesn't. And Aqua set up a barrier to trap demons. And all of a sudden, Cosmo realizes, oh, shit.
Yep. Awkward.
This was all happening. And he doesn't want his cover blown. So
and he doesn't like you say, doesn't want his cover blown, and he's like, there's some things that a man has to protect. And
it's and the expression on his face.
Yes, I love the
I love it. It's just like
the actual like shonen fucking he's shonen's up,
and you can't see his eyes. You just see his nose to his chin. He is chiseled beyond chiseled.
It's like when Saitama drops the goofy net and gets into the serious face. Yeah. It's what happens to Kazuma. Like Saitama's up. He's like,
I'm here. We're gonna do
ready.
this.
I
will protect you. He's like, run away. And she gets away, and then darkness shows up, pissed off beyond belief, and the three girls beat the shit. He lunges at them, they go, and we cut away, and he's all beaten up, like, yeah.
So thankfully for him, like, darkness blames the demon.
Yeah.
He's like, it's the demon's fault.
Until he admits later, it's like, you don't remember. Nope, I don't remember anything. Wait, yeah, but you were kind of going, you do remember.
And then season 2 is like, you do remember, you son of a bitch.
Do remember. But fortunately, they still think he was under the influence of the succubus, which is great. He managed to pull that off, took a beating. But then in the midst of all of this, we get the real alarm.
Yes.
The destroyer is coming. We finally see the destroyer. This giant mobile fortress shaped like a spider. And it's indestructible. And we get this final mini arc. And it's really good.
Yeah.
Because suddenly it's serious. We go from all the comedy to serious, although the comedy is still there. Darkness taking her beatings, Megumin getting ready to fire off the biggest explosion ever. Wiz also firing explosion. We learned that during this period of time, Cosmo gets Drain Touch. He learns Drain Touch from Wiz, which is an undead skill, which gets him in trouble later on. But it's this whole thing set up to stop the destroyer because they realize this is our town. This is our home. We just got this. It's out of selfish reasons. We just got this mansion. We are not losing this mansion. We're not going to lose this.
No.
So it's great. I love the destroyer fight because it's just plain fun, and you get the high octane fantasy stuff. You get giant spells flying. Get this giant creature. You get everybody working together. They rally the townsfolk. They all run inside. They destroying shit. And even and Cosmo against, and he steps up to the plate.
He does. He organizes it. He leads. He is a leader.
And you realize that over and over again, this literal ragtag party of goofballs, to quote again a line from season 2 from Luna, the guild lady, they're really useful sometimes, these four. We can't leave them sitting on the bench because they're really useful. They actually get things done.
And they're getting it done like constantly.
Yeah. And so what is great here is we get they to just go through it. They fight the destroyer. They use Aqua to break the barrier. She's able to do that. Between Wiz and Megumin, they blast it to hell. Everybody rushes inside. They find the core, but it's going to explode. And then we get the first glimpse of what is known as the asshole. The asshole. This dude who's sitting in a chair. It's a skeleton. The creator of this, the mobile fortress. And we get a glimpse of what he did to build it. And he's this complete guy who's just I can't spoil it now. It's a season 2 spoiler, but a complete useless asshole. Doesn't care about anything.
I can't say this because it was season 1. He didn't put an off mechanism on the fortress.
Yeah. And he built it to serve the purposes of this ancient civilization, but then as soon as they turned it on, it destroyed the ancient civilization, and he was locked inside, and he died inside. Rightfully so, because he was the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And they get in there, and suddenly they're presented with this problem. They have this, basically, this element that makes up the core. What was it, a citrium or something like that? It'll wipe everything out if it explodes. And Wiz can teleport it, but it'll be a random teleportation. And Kazuma says, "I take full responsibility for this." Gives Wiz a little more power. Fired off. It goes someplace and explodes. And suddenly, they've won the day again. Somehow.
Yeah, but when I saw that scene, I thought, yeah, this is a great victory, but why do I have this feeling that this is going to come back to bite Kazuma and his group in the ass?
And they're getting their reward. They're going to get more money than everything, and they're going to be rich again. And then this ball-busting lady busts through the door with guards behind her. "Kazuma Sato, you are under arrest for destroying a lord's manor and being allied with the Devil King."
Yep.
And then it's just, let me see if I can get the let me get the picture up.
The attorney.
The attorney who's also, again, hot. All the chicks in this show are hot. They're all glorious anime girls. And let me get the shot. Let me see. Is it season 1 or season 2 where he is?
And they're all very
different.
They're all very different. Yeah, they're all distinct. That's another thing about this show, is that the characters have their own models. Like, it's just so well done.
It really is.
And you get this great moment here where she's threatening to arrest him. And then Aqua's like, "What are we going to do? What are we going to do?" She's shaking him. Okay, it's season 2. I just want to show, leading into season 2, where we started, the breakdown of having, because this is just this great scene of Kazuma fleeing. Let me just get to it right here. She's yelling at him. And I love this.
Yep, you're a criminal now.
"You are a criminal. Seize him." And this, I love this. "Oh no!"
Yep, this qualifies as a well fuck moment.
He just tries to run. He tries to run, and then everybody's like, "Oh no!" And they, "What are they gonna do?" And they tackle him. What am I gonna do?
They tase him,
and it's great. It's fantastic. He's in jail. These are all the guys in jail. "Hey there, pretty mouth.
Hey there, you got a pretty mouth."
I mean, it's glorious. I mean, and that's how season 2 starts. So we end season 1 in complete disaster.
We do not get the hero's end. He doesn't get the great reward. I mean, I'm like rewatching Shield Hero, and I'm just reminded of like when in Shield Hero, like he wins and the queen rewards him with the village and all this. And I'm like, nope, not for Kazuma.
Nope. Nope. And it's just but it's so funny.
Yes.
And we're watching this show because that was Dermy's tag for this season, for this month for me, comedy. And I went through several things. I looked at this one. I looked at I almost did Love is War, a couple other ones, and I thought, no. We're doing Konosuba. I want to laugh. I want to be. It's just so much fun. It's just a laugh a minute, and it gets better in season 2. Now I know Dermy had some couple things he had a small problem with. I don't know what it was, but maybe next month we'll come back and I'll let him say his piece about Konosuba so he can get it in there. We'll have a little recap, but Konosuba, it's so much fun. And we got season 1. You got two OAVs which fit better with season 2. That's why I said I gave animating the instruction, don't watch that. And then you get season 2, and there's a movie, and we got season 3 coming. But as Jose mentioned, they're changing the animation for season 3, and it's been a little bit of a controversy. People have not. It looks different. I mean, will I get used to it? Probably. I just hope I don't get upset, but we'll see. It'll happen. But we have that. So in the end, I recommend this. I recommend it so much. If you want to just have a good time, it's like 11 episodes season 1, 2 AVs, 10 episodes on season 2. And the movie, it's an hour, 20 minutes, like 3-episode arc, but that's great. So I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my Konosuba, but we're not done. We aren't done. Because we have a larger panel now, we're going to do some more things and just talk about the show. I issued my co-host the task of, if you're watching anime this season, to give your mid-season picks, since we're just about a little over halfway through the fall anime season in Japan. Now, Anime Man, I know you're excluded from this because you don't watch them as they come out due to your visual issues, so you are not required for this. Don't worry about it.
It's cool.
But I got 3 picks. I haven't finished watching everything I've pulled down so far because but I got through enough, and I got my 3 picks. Okay. So I'm going to start with right here, my first. And these are in no particular order, just the ones so far in the past since last week that I've enjoyed. And of course, we may cross over. We don't know. I don't know what Jose's picks are, and I didn't know what Dermy's picks were going to be. And we'll get Dermy's picks next month when season's almost over, but it'll be fine. My first one is Beast Tamer.
Okay.
I'm enjoying Beast Tamer because it's straight up fantasy. And recently we've had a couple of basically what happens is it's one of these things where you got a guy in a hero's party and the hero's party kicks him out for so-called being weak. But it turns out that he is actually exceptional in his ability as Beast Tamer. And what he ends up doing is making pacts with some of the most powerful creatures, or in this case, beast girls, in the realm. And he gets powered up by them, and also that, but he learns what it's like to have a real party. And I really like the characters and the relationships in this so far. I'm about, let me see, I think I'm 5 episodes in. I think I stopped on episode 5 or 6. I think either way, I stopped on 5 or 6, about halfway through the season where I stopped, and I'm really enjoying it. The characters are fun so far. The revelations or the resolutions that have happened are really entertaining. That's my first one. Jose, what's your first one?
My first one is, and I'm not finished with all of these but this first one, I'm watching this one with my wife, right? So this was one that we were very intrigued, and it feels like an easy one, but I picked Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man. Okay, let me bring it up right here.
I have seen people cosplaying this character, know nothing about the anime, know nothing about the manga, but it has a really, really unique art style that I'm really digging. It's like a mix of like 2D, 3D, and CG, but like it's really well, and like just set almost like set backgrounds that the characters that like are. It's just really well done. It's very unique. I'm liking it a lot so far. We're on like episode, I think, like 4. And I know that it has a lot of hype.
There's a big fit. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I haven't watched it, because it's got so much hype. It's like, that's why I don't watch Spy Family, because it's been so hyped and the shills are all over it. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll come back to it.
But I will tell you, I am digging this one so far. Okay. It's got some weird like Bleach element feel to me.
Yeah, I've seen it on manga lists for years, and last year when I heard it was, I'm like, okay, this one's finally going to make its appearance as an anime.
Yeah.
So it's funny you should bring that up, because, well, when I was at KomoriCon this year, I actually saw some people cosplaying as characters from Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. I've seen like people like at oh my god, at Dragon Con and at Katsucon, I was seeing like people dressed up with the chainsaw. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I am. It's intriguing.
Okay. All right. My next one, again, not in order, is Uzaki-chan Just Wants to Hang Out season 2.
Nice.
This is just, it's a delightful show. See, it's continuing where season 1 left off, where we realize it's not just about comedy / life. It's turning into a romance story, but comedy romance. And I watched it today. I got to it today finally. I've been saving it for like my wrap up of everything I've been watching for the past week. And it's delightful. The characters are still fun. It's not laugh out loud comedy, it's chuckle comedy, but I like the characters, and I like it that this haphazard romance is going on, and it's just fun. I recommend watching season 1 and getting season 2. It's a good time. Watching Hana and Shinichi just stumble around admitting their feelings for each other. at this point where I am, and their friends trying to steer them towards each other in silly, haphazard anime style ways. So it's a lot of fun, and it's wholesome, and it's a good time with characters you just like. It's a show, no bad characters, no one to be like, no. Everybody's just there with their stereotypes and their fun stuff. And I just met her dad now for the first time and realized that yes, Uzaki-chan's family are all insane. They're all nuts. So I recommend Uzaki-chan Just Wants to Hang Out season 2. All right, Jose, what's your next one?
My next one is Mob Psycho season 3.
Okay. I've heard a lot about this one over the years, but I've never watched it.
Love Mob Psycho. I love Mob Psycho. Season 1 was incredible with one of the best anime openings I've probably heard in the past decade. Season 2 continued. It's got that unique art style for it as well. It's created by the same guy who created One Punch Man. This dude.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, this is the same webcomic artist one who created One Punch Man. This guy knows how to make stories about OP characters and yet still be interesting. Because it's like, yeah, these are characters that like they somehow, even though you know like these guys are OP as hell, their combat, everything, you're still engrossed, and it's more story about like them and their emotions and how they interact. It's both of the things. It's Saitama's struggle with his emotions and losing his humanity because he's so powerful. It's the same with Mob, but now you're seeing it through the lens of a teenager, and now you've got season 3 of that. So it just continues onward. It's so wacky. It's got great side characters too. Yeah, it's really well done. I love Mob Psycho. I'm enjoying this one.
All right, good. See, you guys are getting different. You're getting different flavors from us right now. Okay, my third one. I watched this one again. I watched this one this morning, or yesterday into this morning, I think. And I chose this as my third one because I have a feeling it's going to go somewhere cool. Shinobi no Itoki. It's a story basically of a teenager who discovers that he is a part of a ninja village in modern day here, and that the ninja villages exist, but the struggle is ended because they have been unified in sort of not unified, but under a treaty where there's no war, but shit's going down. And one of them, the Koga family, the Koga village, kind of seems to start stuff up again. They're blaming his village, the Iga village, for the assassination of their chief, and now they all want to kill him. But he ends up at a school for ninjas. Yet everybody kowtows to the Koga family, and they want to do him in. And so far, somebody who I thought was his friend looks like he's about to betray him right now. So a lot of interesting stuff. Now, our protagonist, he has had basically zero training. He's had kind of subtle training. His mom made sure he took things that would make him agile and quick and this and that. But he's not a great fighter, and he's being put up against guys who are really freaking tough. And he has to kind of think his way out of stuff, learning all this stuff on the fly. And he's not strong yet. And I want him to do better, but I feel like he's going to get someplace eventually in these 12 episodes. And I like his surrounding cast so far, and I like the story going on. And I'm enjoying because I'm getting that feeling of, man, I don't like these Koga assholes. And that means I'm engaged because I don't like these Koga assholes. So right now I recommend for a third one, Shinobi no Itoki. Check it out. That's my third one. Jose, what is your third one?
Well, before I get into the third one, I have to for Kurobaro there in the comments, he has acknowledged me as his tribal chief, so I have to give him the wrestling pose that's from. Nice. But yes, no, my third one is one I haven't started this one. It's been on my radar.
No.
And I have it, and I'm like, dude, I've got to start this. I got to start this because it's an isekai.
I'm wondering if I have. Let's see what it is.
It's I can't pronounce it. It's the English name is Reincarnated as a Sword.
I haven't started it yet either. I have. That's one of the last ones I'm getting to right now.
I've heard of that.
To see that it's just such a unique premise. This guy passes away, gets reincarnated not as a slime but as a sword. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm like, all right. And then he takes like he passes around and he's able to get like abilities. And yes, and this cat girl now becomes his wielder. I'm like, okay, all right, you know what? I'm willing. I know there's a lot of isekais out there, but if you give me a interesting premise, I am willing to give it a try. And this sounds interesting. It's very unique. I haven't seen anything where the person's I mean, we saw reincarnated as a slime, and that had a very unique premise too. I like this as well.
Yeah, this is one of the last. I haven't gotten to this one yet because I had to watch a couple other things going to this week. I didn't get around to it, but yeah, this is what's left on the thing. What's left on my list too. I want to give honorable mention to let's go to the main list here. You guys also might know we're not putting out some of the maybe bigger things because I'm letting it like Bleach is happening. Bleach is on the back burner. I'm not touching that until it's done. But let's see a couple. What was the other one I wanted to my honorable mention? Just because it so far is kind of like okay, yeah. I want to give honorable mention to Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch of Mercury. Honorable mention because this is I haven't watched a serious Gundam show in a long time. I couldn't get into Double O. I didn't like Double O, and I didn't give Iron Blooded Orphans any time. I didn't want to. But so, and then there were the kiddie ones and a weird multi-generational one that I was like, that's not going to be Gundam. Screw that. I haven't really enjoyed a Gundam since Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny. So when I saw The Witch from Mercury was coming out, I thought, okay, it's a new timeline. Add Stella. It's not the ones I'm used to. It's not Universal Century. It's not the Gundam Wing one. It's not any of those. It's something new. Give it a try. And it's really different. I can't fully recommend it yet because I'm only 5 episodes in of the 7. And it's just Gundam at school. They've dispensed with the world, the space and Earth are at war thing. Basically, space is ruling, but it's ruling as a giant corporation.
Okay.
Making what I understand from last episode, they call them Earthians and Spacians, and then the Spacians break down by their planet, Mercurians, Moonians, or other stuff like that, Marsians, whatever. But Earthians are second-class citizens to Spacians. And the way they're doing the Gundam in this one, it's a whole new type of Gundam. I don't fully understand it yet. I sort of do. It has a lot with bio connection with an element, and it's poisonous to people. And the secret is it's outlawed, but then maybe somebody figured out how to make it work. But basically, our main character, Salata, she ends up in school, and this is taking place in a school right now. And there's no war going on. So that's kind of a departure from all our standard Gundam, where it's usually the war is the backdrop and young people being forced into these horrible situations with life, death, losing people you love, war. But no, it's different. So it's different, and I'm not hating. I mentioned because I had a feeling Jeremy, this is going to be one of his picks because he was really into it so far because he's a big Gundam guy. So I'm just putting it out there right now in both give Jeremy a chance to hit the show that I'm pretty sure he was going to put out here, but also as an honorable mention, giving it a try. This first season does not have, as you can see, its episodes are not set, and it's not rolling into next season at this moment, or if it is, they haven't put it up yet, but then the second course will come back in January. It's coming back. It's coming back in the spring. So they're going to if we're going to get standard Gundam is 50 episodes and you get 24, you get 25. So if this does go into next season, you get 25, but then it's going to come back in, looks like the spring. I was looking into it. So I say honorable mention, check out Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. It's very interesting and again, you've got, Salata, a definite change in your protagonist. One, we haven't had a main female Gundam pilot ever, really. Not really. We've had them, but not as your central figure. And she is, to bring up what Jose was talking about in terms of your standard Gundam hero, in terms of tropes, complete opposite. She has next to no confidence in dealing with people. She's not had a lot of contact with people in her life because she comes from Mercury. And she has these little dreams of just normal things, wanting to have friends, wanting to go on a date, wanting to give nicknames to her friends, wanting to do this, wanting to do that. It's all real world, real relatable things. But her Gundam, and also the animation style, completely different than what I'm used to. Gundam Aerial does not look like, I mean, it has the features and recognizable of a Gundam, but it's not a Gundam you're used to.
Would you say that it's something that like you have to? Is it something that you have to have watched other Gundams to get into this one? Okay,
no, you can step right into this. Just there's a prologue. There's a prologue, which you should watch. I watched it, so you know what happens before the setup. And then right now, I think we're up to episode 6 or 7. So I would say don't miss the prologue. Otherwise, you'll miss a couple of key things and start wondering, okay, what's going on here? Because I see this person from the prologue, this and that. But no, this is one of those times where you do not need past Gundam experience to do this because it's a whole new Gundam.
Okay.
It's a whole new thing where, again, their mobile suits are there, but it's not your standard Gundam mobile suit. There's no, they're not dealing with eugenics type stuff where you're making perfect people. There's it's the rules of old Gundam have been removed. It's a whole new set of rules. So, honorable mention, I say give it a try. I will come back to it. Again, we'll be back with this particular segment at the end of the season. We'll give you our final 12 episodes. Go watch this. We'll give you those at the end of the season. But on our way out now, I want to talk about this because I gave the guys this article to read because this has been bugging me. This has been bugging me for over a week.
Yeah.
This was when I read this, and I thought, where do I want to talk about this? I'll talk about it on MA Odyssey because everybody will get it. So
some things don't need to be made.
I know. So
The
guy who created the Oculus Rift is trying to make a real world Nerve Gear. So people who are maybe unknowing, Nerve Gear is the original dive headset that happened in Sword Art Online, which put everybody in the virtual world, but it had its horrible. How do I put this delicately? It had the horrible attachment or horrible circumstance of when you died, it would shoot microwaves into your brain and fry your brain and kill you. That's why they call the original Aincrad arc the death game. Because when people died, they died in real life. So this guy decides I want to make a real world Nerve Gear.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you guys this because I'm interested. Is this a troll or is he being real with this?
I'm like worried because the guy says he's like a super fan, right? Mm-hmm. And the article continues on and it takes it very, very seriously. Like
this wasn't the first place I saw this. This is like the second article. I went to Bounding because they put it all in one nice little place for us.
Yeah. Like I've seen this in passing and I almost was like, because I didn't read. I read the article when you sent it to us, but I've seen this, like you said, being mentioned before, and I haven't read anything else before that because I was like, this has to be a joke, right? Like, who the fuck is going to be like, hey, man, I really would like an Oculus that when I'm playing a game kills me? Who, like, I don't know.
Why? I mean, I don't want... I have enough motivation to kick ass. I don't need the motivation of dying.
Yeah.
To push myself in a game. Because if that happened, what's Legatus going to do if I die? The count ends then.
Yeah. I would venture this. Maybe it's a troll, maybe it's not. But either way, if it's a troll, it's a very sick troll. And if it's real, dude, I prefer to play my games without the threat of having my synapses fried by alpha waves. Thank you very much.
Not even that. His whole thing is I want to build in explosive devices to blow the back of your head out.
Yeah. I'm sorry. No. Yeah. And that's just hell no. No.
So, I mean, this guy, what's his name?
Lucky or something like that.
No, that's the game. Yeah, Lucky. Yeah.
Palmer
Lucky. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, I mean, he said that like at the end that he, it's supposed to be like a thought-provoking reminder,
No.
Of the unexplored avenues in game design. I'm like, dude, I think we can leave that avenue unexplored, man.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need that.
I would add in this. There are some things man was just not meant to know.
Yeah,
where's the Ian Malcolm quote? Like, you were too busy wondering, if you could, not, whether you should.
Exactly.
You shouldn't make this.
I mean, I want to reach this level of virtual reality gameplay. Hopefully, in my lifetime, I would love to do full dive. I'd love to experience that. It would be a trip and a half, but not like this.
Yeah,
not with the threat of death.
Yeah, and I don't trust in my like I would love to do like a full dive, right? Yeah. Absolutely. Like when I watch, and yes, there are some negatives to VR chat, but when I look at like VR chat, the program, I'm like, we're getting there. Like the stuff that people are creating, the games, like I'm like, this is we are.
We're not there yet. We're not,
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But we're like, you could see where like we are actually making our way towards something like that. And then I'm like, dude, but I don't trust my equilibrium and my coordination. I'm a clumsy bastard. I'm gonna die in this game very quickly if this thing is a real life headset. Like, what the fuck?
I know.
Yep.
It's just I want this. I want virtual reality, but like you said, we're there. A lot of steps are being made, but if anything, with Meta, we're not there yet.
No,
we're not there yet.
No, especially not with Meta.
Yeah. So I mean,
Meta feels like a step back.
Yeah, it was such a dumb thing to do. But this and what I hate about this most is I fear that a story like this, troll or not troll, it's just going to give both anime and gaming another more bad press, more bad names. We deal enough with people saying, "Oh, you're a kid watching anime, or you're a child, you're a man child playing a game." No, we don't need bad press like this connected to that. That's a fear that I have, that it's going to create a narrative surrounding this. Oh, look, crazy gamers based on crazy anime want to build crazy tech that might kill you.
Yeah, I mean, still to this day, we still have to put up with the idiocy of the long debunked thought of, hey, if you play video games, you grow up to be violent and stupid stuff like that. Like those studies have been debunked forever. In fact, there's more studies that prove that doesn't actually happen than ever any studies that actually prove that there is a correlation to it, right?
It's an outlet.
It's an outlet. Like if someone's an idiot, they're going to be an idiot whatever their hobby is. But like you said, this is only potential to be, another round of ammunition for those type of people who think of that.
Yeah. We don't need to give them ammunition. Not at all.
We've worked very hard to separate the bad tags associated with anime and gaming for a long time, where we're not a bunch of weirdos. We're not a bunch of creepos. Just because we watch anime doesn't mean we all like tentacle porn, It's just...
what if we do, goddammit?
Hey, boobies are fine.
Yeah.
I just don't need tentacles around them.
But like you said, we've over these years, decades, it has come to where like you could go, like I tell people all the time, I'm like, I'm ecstatic when I see younger people going to a Comic-Con and they're like, man, I get to cosplay this character. I'm like, dude, I'm so happy for you, because I remember growing up, that wasn't the same for me. And I'm glad to see that you have that. We have made strides for that. And this is just something that it's like, don't.
I'm afraid it'll take a step back. I mean,
I would add in this. When I was at KomoriCon this year, I actually saw a number of couples at the convention who actually had kids with them. Some of them were just toddlers, some in their little strollers, and some who are teenagers. Just that that kind of family togetherness is exactly what helps the nerd community. So this sort of thing, we don't need this.
No, we don't.
No, absolutely. That Dragon Con, you fully see generations that have come to these cons. I've seen like grandparents, and then the adults, and then the kids. Generations of people who attend these cons and who have shared this and passed it on to their kids and their kids' kids, and it's great. And it's like, dude, there's some things that we don't need, and this is definitely not one of them. We don't need a headset. I don't need these headphones to explode if I, get killed in League of Legends.
Yeah. Just let's not do that. All right.
Yeah, just no.
No. Yeah. So we all definitely shared the same bad vibes from this, it seems.
Yeah.
All right. With that, we bring the show to an end for another month. I want to thank my co-hosts for being here. Thank you, Anime Man. Thank you, Jose. And it sucks Dermy couldn't make it, but we'll give Dermy his time to speak on Konosuba a little bit next month.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I will be choosing the tag, and I will be sending the tag to Jose, who will then, he's got a couple of weeks to make a choice, and then we will be back in let me see. I could say the date now because we're gonna get it in right before Christmas.
And I didn't get to say this earlier.
Yeah,
I didn't get to say this earlier, but I want to highlight for people this. We talked about how long we've been loving anime. Of all the animes I've watched, One Piece being number one, Hajime no Ippo is my second. This show, Konosuba, is actually my third favorite anime of all time.
Wow,
really?
All time. Because
fantastic.
Because in its short amount of time, even in season 1, I had already put it up there because I also rank it as the funniest anime.
It's my number one comedy. It is my number one comedy.
It is the funniest anime I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because in the short amount of time they give you, you are just laughing your ass off.
Perfect example of things that I know I laughed my ass off with. Did you ever watch Angeloid? I
don't think I ever did.
Nope.
Angeloid, funny as hell. First 2 seasons, you can watch it, but then there's a movie that jumps way ahead from the manga. It's one of those things where you're going to have to go read the manga, but I laughed my ass off. I rewatched it recently. I didn't laugh as hard.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Konosuba. This is like my 3rd or 4th time watching it through. Still laughing as hard, still having as good a time as any. So that's why it is my number one comedy.
My number one comedy. My number one comedy and my number 3 anime of all time.
Yeah, I can't do all-time lists, but I can definitely put rankings in genre section. So it's my number one. I totally agree with you there. It's fun. It's
great.
Fun.
It's so much. I mean, I was laughing when we were looking at the clip when he's doing the succubus. I was like, I gotta hold in this laugh because the stupid show is making me laugh.
No,
it's fucking great.
It's great. All right, so we're gonna if nobody has a problem, we'll be back on the 14th of December. Because I don't want to put anybody. I don't have anybody have to come back Christmas week because it's holiday week. So we'll be back on December 14th, right back here, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Before we go though, panel, what do you got going on to talk about with us? So, Animan, what do you have going on in your realm?
Yes. Here we go. First off, I've got 2 more Magic of the Season stories that are coming up, which are available for. Hold on just a minute. Sorry, just had to stop a Discord call. Anyhow, my 2 Magic of the Season stories will be going up sometime in the next few weeks. Also, at the end of the month, the next chapter of Clanless goes up. Vistoff, the protagonist, is about to face tragedy as he goes up against his old mentor and a large force of his people. Also, let's see here. Oh, yes. Also coming up will be a special Thanksgiving-themed story. The descendant of the captain of the Mayflower leads a ship full of passengers to a new world in a story called Shining Light of Hope.
All right. Well, you can check it out. Anime Man's links are in the description below. And Jose, what's going on in your geekdom?
I just finished watching Wakanda Forever, and I put my review
on.
Oh my God!
Why did you do that to yourself?
Yeah,
content. That's why.
Yeah, content. I mean, it's. I've been so busy with making the moves to the plan to move, and hopefully leaving the state and going to someplace a little bit more free thinking. Yeah,
which is why we've had trouble getting you back on the channel until today.
I have. Oh my God! This room looks normal, but everything else is just getting packed up and put into boxes and just made for showings. But right now I did that review. I've been doing a little bit more of streaming back on Twitch again, just because I want to get back that community that we had there. And so I've been playing some God of War over there. And I still have my notes. I have to show you my notes eventually. I'll show them on the video. I will be doing a breakthrough of why I think Wakanda Forever is not a good movie. It's not. I mean, I will say it is not the worst thing in Phase 4. It's not the worst thing in Phase 4. There are other things like Thor: Love and Thunder that were, but it's not a 9. It's not a 7. It's not even an average film. Yeah. And I feel like with a movie like that, especially with the weight that it carries, it deserves an actual breakdown. So I'll be doing a breakdown of the actual film, scene by scene. Here's why I did this. Here's why I think this is bad. So that's what I'll be working on.
Excellent. I'm done with the MCU.
I don't.
Well, it's not so much not even watching it. I'm done after the middle finger that was She-Hulk. I'm done. I'm not even wasting my time. I wasted my time for 8 weeks on that shit. No, sorry, done. Yeah. Done.
It's just and I've even fallen off of Andor, like and fallen off again, not because I'm hating. It's just
I still like to hear that.
It's just apathy to it, you know. It's like it's just you want to watch it, but it's like
next week I'm gonna power through the episodes I've been letting pile up, and I will give my final thoughts on the back half of that season, just as from my perspective as an EU guy. And I'll probably get a lot of hate, but you know,
it's just a shame because like it's just right now Disney's putting nothing out that you could.
And it's still Disney Star Wars. That's the thing. It's still sequel trilogy. Jake Skywalker. That's all I say. And nobody gives me an accurate answer when I say it's still going there.
All roads lead to that.
I still won't get an accurate answer. So all right. So check out Jose's YouTube channel, link below. Give me your Twitch channel when we're done, and I'll make sure I get it in there too. In the description. I want to make sure everybody's links there. And as for me, it's my PS5 arrives tomorrow.
I've been playing some God of War.
I'm going to start 2018. I've been waiting. And by next week, I got the bundle too. I got the God of War bundle. Fell in my lap 2 days ago. I was going through Amazon. Boom, there it was. I was like, I've been waiting. That's the only way I could get it, through Amazon, so I can make payments on it. It was like, click, and it's arriving.
I had to move Kratos and Atreus from their spot for the girls back here, but they'll be going back up eventually.
So I'm starting not tomorrow, but Friday. I'll be starting God of War 2018 stream, and we'll be playing. We'll be doing this through next week, holiday week. I'm not planning on making anybody do any shows with me, so we'll be streaming Ragnarok by next week. That's for sure.
Adam.
Nice. Yes,
Adam. Before we go, I just want to say to the chat and everybody out there watching, I just want to wish every one of you out there a happy Thanksgiving. God bless you, and have a happy holiday with friends and family.
Yes. Yeah, if we don't see any of you again before for another 2 weeks, we'll be back for regular stream shows after the Thanksgiving weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Have a happy holiday, and be thankful for your families. Be thankful for everything you have. I know I am. And with that said, chat, we love you. And Corey, we are going to be re-uploading as a thing, but we do for this because we do the live stream because we want to give people a chance to talk with us, enjoy it, share it with us, and come in. And it won't always just be a handful of you. I hope someday there'll be more than just a few people, and I want people to be here with us and share it live with us. But the replay will be up at midnight tonight. I give you guys, if you're watching on the delay, just some time to finish up, because I don't believe in just shutting it off in the middle if you're trying to catch up. So the replay will be up, and from that's the way it's going to be going forward. I will take the stream down and I'll put up the replay upload, and it'll be evergreen for you to enjoy. So once again, chat, we love you. We thank you for being here. You're the reason we're able to do all this, and we will see you next time. Take it easy. Have a good rest of your day, evening, wherever you may be. Good night. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me at therennerd@gmail.com. That email's for channel business only, so I check it on a daily basis. Also, you can find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can find me at Rumble and Odyssey, The Renaissance Nerd. Thank you again. See you next time.